I guess maybe a starting place. I just had this thought because I don't know that I've heard this from you. What did you experience internally? You experienced something in sitting with Papaji and meeting Papaji. What was it?
Well, there's a lot of experience, a lot of experience, a lot of different kinds of experience. And yet, um, it wasn't experience that was pointed to there,
Mhm.
which is uh, a difference. Uh, So, I mean, lots of side effects, you could say side effects would happen, which were mind blowing, and a lot of energetic phenomena, a lot of very spacious mind. But
So,
even when
so
that
that
would
would kind of
happen,
be in the purple node of
yeah, but this was like not the issue there. This was not what satsang was about.
in
Satsang
the
was
sense that, like you
what's
say, that's not
aware
what he
of,
was pointing to.
right. Satsang was not about purple at all. Not about bliss, not about spacious mind, not about um, anything perceivable, anything experienced. It was always was pointed to the source of experience, what's prior to experience. So every experience has, whether it's subtle or gross, either experience or experiencer has an experiencer, every experience. So sometimes the sense of I is very, very subtle. The sense of the aware, the watcher, the one that is having the experience. So that one that's having the experience is an object.
Mhm.
So to be pointed in such a way or somehow like, you know, gesturing or um, somehow conveying what can't be spoken, um, so that one is simply seated prior to the I, aware of vastness or aware of contraction or anything in between. All of that's considered mind, not discursive thinking mind, even, but mind.
Mhm.
You could say perception. What is aware of perception? And that would be discursive mind as well, but it would also be sight, sound, smell, taste. You are that, and that doesn't is not knowable as an object. It's not experienced. In some ways, it's not special at all. It's not magnificent. It's not glorious. It's not sexy. It's nothing. It's not. doesn't, it's not in any of the categories of all the other spiritual experiences. It's not part of the journey. It's not attained because all the rest are forms of grasping. They're forms of something that is there and then not there, or wasn't there and then is there. Might still be hanging around, but it goes through its own kind of graduations, gradations, changes. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's nice to develop these things, right? Sattvic mind, you could say, or subtle vision, or more open heartedness, compassion, all of those. It's fun. It's good. But what Papaji points to or pointed to is not that. It's it's doesn't change. It's not gotten, so it's never lost. And in some ways, it's the only refuge. I mean, it's a hard, but the only refuge, really, because everything changes. I mean, the language is weird because, I mean, even in the Tapestry of Being, I went through this once with what's his name? I think yeah, I'm not going to say he's gone, and but a friend, an old friend, who was asking me about tapestry, and so he was like, "Well, isn't red the source of all the other colors?" And then I went, "Well, if we'll, what red is pointing to is the source of all the other colors." And then I realized all the colors are arising in a white background. And I said, maybe white is what Papaji was talking about. Red is that. It is, but red is still self inquiry. It's still a pointing, it's still a thing. It's like it is and it isn't. It's almost like red is the trap door into white, but white was always there. So you don't really fall into white. Red is something, like you do. It's like you do self inquiry so you could get the consciousness piece. That's how people talk about it. It's not really, it doesn't do it justice at all because it's like it's like nudity is the self. And you say, oh, well, the way you get nudity is you take off this. That's what self inquiry is. You take off your clothes as if it's a thing. You're just taking off your clothes. You don't get a nude body from taking off your clothes. You have the nude body, it's covered. That's all. You've got it. Well, even if you have clothes on, everybody has a nude body right now. It's just by people define it as not nude because it's clothes on top. That's all. It's kind of like that. Self inquiry is kind of like taking off your learning how to take off the clothes. It's like, oh, what happened? Oh, this new thing I got called a body, a nude body. No, you didn't really. It's not new at all. It's nothing. It's no attainment. It's nothing that you aren't already now. And it's like, there's like the experience of putting your clothes back on and going, oh, I was nude. And so then you talk about it. Wow, I was nude. It was amazing. I had no clothes on and I was nude. And of course, as you're saying it, you're actually still nude. You just have clothes on, but you still haven't quite got the fact that you're still nude. You think because there's objects in awareness, or that attention is glued to some thinking that well I was, but I'm not now. It's like still not quite. grasping the situation. Well, that's poor language because it's not grasping either, but it's still not recognizing how it is exactly. So people do self-inquiry again and again, but it's like it's just to say I'm already free, even when there's grasping mind, because I'm already nude, even when I have clothes on. It's just like that. So that's what Papaji pointed to: your inherent nudity, your inherent spaciousness, your inherent. But spaciousness, all those languages are like experiences too. So it's a little weird. It's not really
Well,
spacious.
it seems too that I remember one time, I remember this kind of vividly because a friend was curious and came with me, and you had a video on from Papaji of some people who were really tripping, you know, and and I think he never said much about it. He never came back, and I kind of wonder. I think he was kind of like, taken aback by this Indian guru and these people tripping out around him. But I remember that also it, just because there are qualities that seem to emanate from pointing, I appreciate your analogy here, but when somebody recognizes, yeah, I'm always nude, no matter, when there's some kind of recognition, there also seem to be qualities that come from that recognition.
Can, not always. In other words, it depends. Another, so because the qualities come from the outside, they don't. In other words, you are seeing them, and then you're seeing the qualities. But from their side, it's no qualities.
From their side.
Right. It's only from your side that there's qualities, and sometimes, believe me, from your side there won't.
Well,
In other words, you can be with people who are masters, like Papaji, emanating all that stuff, but he would also get angry,
mhm.
and he would also, you can't necessarily know. Um, I'm giving you the opposite examples. What you're saying isn't wrong, but
There's a limitation though too.
there's a
There's a big
limitation because
limitation.
anything that is felt, anything that's experienced is not it. It's sort of like it's a quality that comes and goes. It's not going to always be there. And like Ramana was very clear about this. He said you cannot tell. I mean, I think there's a relative truth to it. In other words, it's okay to speak that way, but I think the nature of what you're where the conversation we're having right now is like getting down to brass tacks here. And Ramana was very clear, and I think it's true that you just don't know from person's behavior, from their energy, or any of that stuff because it's
Yeah,
not that.
exactly. And except that
Those
um,
are all
people
cultivated
came.
qualities.
What's that?
Those are all situational cultivated qualities. Nothing that is experienced is like that. In other words, nothing that's experienced is continuous and equally distributed everywhere. It's by nature like a flowing or an opening or a this or a that. And all of that is experience. It's not actually that. It's, you could say this, all the experiences, positive and negative, are all aspects of that, or you could even say, if we use Kashmir Shaivism language, they're all limitations of that. In other words, they're like you dampen it down in some way, and then it's experienceable. So it's a veiled thing. I mean, it's very clear in the tattvas the way they outline it. At the top is formless Shiva, but then, as you get lower, their their energies and their blissful states and all that until finally you're at the bottom, and it's gross stuff. But the nature, there's still like a huge, there's always a distinction in that it's experienced. So, yes, usually the side product is of bringing attention to rest in objectless space or presence or just what is, or however you want to speak about it, is that there's a silence feel that people feel. That's right. And being in that silent field often can put your attention at the precipice to recognize, but it's a double edged sword because that field then becomes associated with what you are, what it is. And it's not that. It's just as much of a trap as a blessing. Do you see what I'm saying? This is important. This is
Um,
very, very important, actually.
yeah, yeah. Buddhism, though, and Hinduism, I think as well, have also used those as pointing, like Buddhism talks of emptiness, which is a quality or an experience or, a state. Um,
Right. And it's just as much of a trap as it is a blessing.
mhm,
I say it again. And as do many Buddhists and
mhm,
many Buddhist scriptures. And this is the trap of nihilism comes from uh, the experience of the emptiness as an object. It's very tricky. It's very, very, very tricky.
yeah.
It's an age-old argument that's mostly about teaching. Like,
Mhm,
is that useful to teach that way or not?
mhm,
I mean, there's been arguments on both sides of the aisle with in Buddhism especially about this because Buddha tended not to talk very much about emptiness or about spaciousness or nature of mind or any of that. His only words were there's no self. Emptiness became big after him, as was Buddha nature, as was, these were now it depends on how you think about it because they say they were in sutras that but if we're talking purely historically, there was a development in terms of language. I love Dzogchen, but people have problems with it for exactly that reason. Because it's pointing to a certain kind of spaciousness. But they're very quick to say, yeah, but wait a minute, but it's there. So um, the original Buddhist teaching, very much like Advaita Vedanta, was a purely negative teaching. It wasn't actually pointing to something; it was pointing something out. So the Advaita teaching is negative in the sense of neti neti. So, I mean, really, you could put it, say it very simply, is if you can just continuously, whatever experience there is, whether it's vastness or smallness, whatever experience, peaceful or noise, if in the midst of it, you can notice the I that's talking about the experience, having it going, wow, or whatever, or huh, I see it, I know it, that one, and put that on the side of the experience, you're good. It's that simple. Because if you don't do that, then that I is the one that's having the experience of emptiness, of fullness, of bliss, and then you're lost. You're just it's just then it's like this I needs to keep that experience or is losing that experience or is happy that it had the experience, is on a journey to have the experience again or wants to do all that. And it's the same. It's I mean, it's good. I mean, in other words, the patterns you can work over time so that there's more and more often positive patterns rather than negative ones where you get sattvic mind or good karma, whatever. But it's conditional. You got to keep it going. It's kind of like the stoic mind control thing. It's a certain level, which is not bad. It's great. It's nice. But she'll be on the path forever. It's just constantly having to keep that going. Now, it's a different level. It's not, level's not the correct word. Different dimension. That's a better word. It's not level because it's not a different level. It's distinctly not a different level. It's a different dimension to go, okay, I'm going to be doing that, but I'm also going to immediately notice this eye that thinks it's on the journey. Put it over there. It's an object too. Put it there with the rest of it. So there's awareness now, aware of the I that's having a journey and thinking that it's going to be doing better and wanting to get ahead and wanting to be more pure and wanting to finally get it, and wanting to finally know it, or knows it and then describes it, all that. Our egos. Put the ego over here because it's an object. It isn't you. It isn't you. It's part of that thing. Whatever it is that's happening in front of you, it's that too. It's part of the paint. It's part of the painting. It's not the watcher of the painting. It's part of the screen. It's not the watcher of the screen. The watcher of the screen is silence. It isn't silent like it's silent now and then noisy later. It is silence. It is aware. It's not aware like it can be aware now and not aware later. Aware is its name. And the I is aware and unaware. The I is silent and noisy. The I is having spacious experience and closed experience. So put the I over there with all the experiences. That's it. That's how it's negative. It's not doing anything. It's just putting everything there, there, there. And nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be figured out. Nothing has to be realized even or recognized or any of that. All of those words are, skillful or unskillful means. The thing about skillful means is it's not real. It's not actually, it's just trying to get close. It's trying to create a circumstance that, where attention pops out for a second or something like that. It's really hard to language it. People say things like a jump. It's not really a jump, or or recognize or realize. It's not even that, really. I mean, there's lots of realizations where that is that, but they're all in the dream, you know, and that's fine too. They're energetic realizations and all of that, but they're energetic realizations of an I. Like I'm not against those. I wrote a whole tapestry of being thing to include those, but they're not the same. They're very different. So you asked me what I got from Papaji, or
Mhm.
I didn't get anything from Papaji, but you know, what was pointed to. This is what was pointed to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for satsang.